Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. I'm Adrian, and we are playing some more Golgari Hydras. What do we think of this opening hand? Black, black, and no green. We cannot keep this opening hand, unfortunately. This one, on the other hand, is marginally keepable. So marginally, in fact, that we are going to keep it, and fingers crossed we have a land on top. We do not. That is... maybe I didn't keep a very good opening hand. Either way, our opponent is on the play, and we are playing against white and blue. Usually, white-blue tends to be control. Also, hey, Doomblade, that's neat. Also, the last two games we played, our opponents decided that they didn't really want to finish the match and dropped before the games were actually finished. So hopefully, this one doesn't end up that way as well. It's super sad when I'm playing against people and they're like, nah, I'm not interested in playing against this, and then they drop. But it is an unfortunate thing that does happen on MTGO quite regularly. So if you are playing Magic the Gathering, specifically online, I mean, kind of finish your matches. I mean, what's the deal with that? Like, why? Oh, they're going to Spreading Seas my stuff. That really hurts, to be quite honest. Like, I don't think you understand how much that hurts. Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, this would have been awesome. But we can't play it, so let's go to combat and ship it to our opponent's turn. Wow, okay, guys. Remember that time I kept a really bad opening hand? Oh, wait, that's right now. I should have known better. Oh, what are we playing? We're playing against... I know this deck. I can't remember what name it is right now, and or what it does, but I recognize Court Hussar. Okay, well, this is going to be an interesting game for us. Let's see how it pans out, though. If we draw another land, Swamp is absolutely not what I wanted. Dang it. That's rough. I think... yeah. I think we're going to just Doomblade his Cortuzar and swing for one. It's not the funnest thing, but it is the thing I think we're going to do. Because it doesn't quite know what our deck is doing yet, and I'm willing to bet you anything he is also playing like Meddling Mages and stuff like this, so he's probably playing like a Control Flicker style deck, is my guess, if I remember what this deck does. Wall of Omens, yep, because it makes sense. I mean, if you're playing Cortuzar, you are playing a deck that is relying on flickering stuff to get value off of it. Flickering stuff like Wall of Omens is a really good idea, usually, so I hope he decides he wants to blow up my Swamp. That'd be rad. And remember that time we needed green? Yeah, that's right now. So, ship it to our opponent's turn. We are waiting on a forest. Oh my god, I kept a bad opening hand, guys. Live and learn, live and learn. Or you should just learn and not do it. I think is probably what the real, the real mantra that should be here is, don't keep an opening hand with one land unless you're like a 5-card hand. Okay, so Flicker Wisp, flickering probably his Wall of Omens, getting an extra card. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he has Meddling Mage as well in that deck somewhere. Scary stuff. Comes back, draws a card. If we draw a Forest, we can start getting the ball rolling here. If we don't, then that's problematic for us. Captain of Lambholt is not going to be it. I think we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, but I am like 99% positive we have lost this game. Our opponent is now, especially for a deck that's like a Flicker control-based deck, I'm assuming, we are so far behind on tempo right now. It is painful. Really painful. Yep. So, go to our opponent's turn. He's going to swing for 3, obviously. Not like we can do much about it. I think getting rid of the Court Hussar is probably better because he'd been swinging for 1 every single turn. And he plays another Flicker Wisp, obviously targeting his Wall of Omens again. And yeah. Okay, yeah, skip. I don't care. Not Captain Lambholt. Again, we're gonna keep going. Do we have anything that's? I mean, we're gonna keep going because we're gonna see what else he has in his deck. This is kind of being the plan of attack here. Captain Lambholt, you can go away. We're not gonna play you anytime soon. So that is rough. So yeah. Anyhow, this is a game. What do we think? What can we sideboard in against this deck? Rite of Consumption, maybe not so good. Rain and Tears, 50-50. If we draw a Forest, we're still good. 50-50, Rain of Tears. Vine of Vastwood, maybe. Nature's Claim would be good because again we're seeing Spreading Seas. Hey, there we go. What do we think? Let's play a Managorger Hydra. and fingers crossed it doesn't get countered on us. Even though I don't think this is actually going to be enough. He's going to swing in for 6. I don't think it's going to be quite enough to get ourselves out of this. So, yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, Vines of Vastwood may be a good one. Duress. Again, we're not seeing a ton of counter stuff in his deck. And Duress only grabs non-creatures. So I think Nature's Claim and Vines of Vastwood are probably the cards we're going to want to throw in. Captain of Lambholt, we could probably take out one of her. And opponent probably going to swing in for 6. Probably pull out Captain of Lambholt, and we can probably pull out maybe a Protean Hydra? No, probably not. We'll have to take a look. There's got to be some other stuff we can pull out. Obviously, keeping in Doomblades is actually a good idea. And really? Okay, well, we're going to concede now. That's super funny. Spreading Seas, all of our stuff. Okay, go to sideboard. We need to throw in 100% Nature's Claims. We can't be having our stuff turned to islands. That doesn't help us out at all. As far as... I think Beast Withins are also going to be a good idea. I was going to put in Vine of Vastwood. I think about it, I don't think it's actually that great for us so much. Yeah. And what do we pull out in place of these things? So we can pull out 2... Actually, we can pull out a single Captain of Lambholt. I'm going to pull out both of the Tuskguard captains. They are good, but they're not going to be amazing. I'd rather actually have a little bit more potential control on our side. And Protean Hydra, you're good. Mistcutter Hydra is really good in this matchup. Well, not really good. Pretty good in this matchup. Feral Hydra, you're also really good. I don't think I'd ever pull you out. So I think actually what we pull out is actually going to be a Protean Hydra. We still need to pull out one more card. And I don't want to pull out a Doomblade, and can't pull out any of these things. Do I pull out 2 Captain of Lambholts? That's the next question then. I think the answer is going to be creatures with power. I think the answer is going to be another Protean Hydra. Yeah, I think that's the way we're going to go. Okay, got a little bit more stuff. We're going to be removing his Spreading Seas, which totally screwed us over last game. We also have Beast Within, which can also destroy... Oh, yes, we're going to play first. Which also can destroy... Boo. Boo. This is better. Marginally. Keep. Bottom. Okay. What was I thinking? Oh, yeah, I don't remember what I was thinking. I don't remember at all. Oh. Apparently I'm at begin combat. I just want to go to my main step. And main step, Llanowar Wastes, Hardened Scales, Pale Life. I'm okay with that. And then shift to our opponent's turn, so now whenever we play stuff like Feral Hydra, we're going to be getting value off of it, which is really what we need. Again, fingers crossed. So he's going to play tapped. Good. Now, what do we got? Managorger. Fantastic. Well, let's just play Feral Hydra and get a 2/2 for 2 onto the field. And, yes, done. And shift to our opponent's turn. Hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more of a rush going on, especially because we have Managorger Hydra. Obviously we need another land in order for that to be working effectively, but it's better than nothing. Disenchant, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Neat, fun. I bet he saw that coming as well. He's like, oh, playing as Hydra's deck. Hardened Scales, 100% a card in that deck. Let's go to combat, swing, and then we're going to play Managorger Hydra next turn. Or at the end step. Yep. Managorger. There you go. Welcome to play, Managorger Hydra. We are going to use you to make our opponent have a really bad day, because you're going to get really big, especially against a deck that is playing potentially counters, because if we play anything else, he's going to counter it, which then makes you bigger, which becomes very problematic. The downside, and this is the true downside about playing a Hydra's deck, he is playing a flicker-based deck. Always yield. He is playing a flicker-based deck, which means if he flickers something like our Feral Hydra, it means it goes away, it comes back with 0 counters. Keep that in mind. That is a thing that is going to hurt us probably a lot, especially when it gets to late game. Well, we could play another Managorger Hydra, which I think is actually the way we're going to go. The other option would have been playing Hardened Scales. Hardened Scales doesn't give us the tempo we really want, and we can just play Hardened Scales next turn anyways. So, yeah. Swing with all of these guys. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, if he kills Feral Hydra, I don't really care because we kill that guy. Again, and he has Flicker stuff. He can just play a Flicker Wisp and then bounce this guy, and we lose it anyways, so I'm okay if he decides he wants to get rid of Feral Hydra. It is okay by me. Yeah, not going to block that guy. So, yeah, I'll take 2 damage. That's fine. It's fine. Obviously, Managorger Hydra is worth more than this guy to us, because, again, we can make this guy much, much bigger. Please tell me it's a Path to Exile. Path to Exile. Not a Path to Exile? You want a Path to Exile my stuff? If you Path to Exile it, I get to go get a land, which then gives me more options down the road. Specifically with this guy, I can make him bigger. Flicker Wisp. Okay. Who are you targeting? He should have targeted this guy, because it would go away. Either way. Yeah, we're going to see who he targets. He should target the Feral Hydra, because it just kills. It's just basically a kill spell at that point. But if he targets his own guy, then he would be gaining life, which I don't think will help him in the long run. Dealing with threats usually is better, or he can deal with this guy. That's fine too. Feral Hydra, I think, is actually the better bet, to be quite honest. Again, he's going to get rid of 2. He's going to get rid of an entire creature, where this guy's just going to come back and keep him getting big. Especially because on my turn, is just going to... Oh, yes! That's what we want right there, guys. Okay, well, let's go 1-2. Play a Winding Constrictor, which is super cool for us. And he does have technically a Hollow Fountain up, so he could play a counter on that. There's a bunch of stuff. And then we're going to play Hardened Scales, which is going to put a lot more counters on stuff, which I think is super cool. Yes, please, please do. And then let's go to combat, swinging with everything. All attack. Everything attack, except for our Winding Constrictor, because he can't attack. He has Summoning Sickness. Yeah, so this deck is basically doing what it is. And the thing is, if he decides he's going to block Flicker Wisp with one of these guys here, they have Trample. It becomes very, very painful for our opponent. What he should do again, what he should have done last turn is, like, he should have flickered this guy. I mean, I guess this guy would have been quite a bit bigger if he didn't. But, yeah, Trample. Trample becomes very hard for these guys to get dealt with. So otherwise, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna trade, which is fine by us. Fine by us. We are more than happy to be doing 9 damage with these 2 guys. And what does our opponent think he's doing now? Come, tell me, opponent. What do you think? Spreading Seas. Sweet. Neat. I don't think he realizes we have Nature's Claim in our hand, which is fantastic for us because that means these guys are going to get bigger. Bigger, I say! Which means we're probably going to go to Game 3, which is very good. I'm happy to go to Game 3. Game 1 was just painful. I mean, again, that's my bad. I should know better than to keep really bad opening hands. So, so what do we got here? He has Gideon of the Trials? So this is a new one. What is he doing here? Gets Emblem. As long as you control Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game, your opponent can't win the game. Oh. Well, that means I have to attack Gideon now. That's annoying. Super annoying, but not annoying enough not to win the game. So that's a thing. Because I can just attack both. Which is fine. I don't have enough to play both of them. So let's start out by destroying... choose target artifact or enchantment. This thing. Right here. Spreading Seas. Paying that. Destroying it. And I should be able to swing both... I should be able to go both ways. Should be fine. Totally fine. Let's go to combat. Begin combat. You go at Gideon, and you go at the actual guy. And yeah, I don't see there's any other tricks he can possibly do. So this should kill our opponent. In theory, should kill him. I don't see any way around this. Because one hit Gideon, killing it, which then makes this emblem invalid, but he still takes damage. Because it doesn't prevent him from taking damage. It just prevents him from losing the game. So yeah, not that hard for us to deal with. And I don't think he realizes trample is a thing that doesn't matter at all to us. Bravo. Well done. Well played. Well played. Okay, we're going to go to game 3 as soon as our opponent realizes that he just lost the game. And then, what do we think? Do we need to leave anything in? Do we need to take anything out? I think leaving it the way it is probably fine. I don't... Again, a lot of our... Yeah, okay, that's exactly how I want to do it. A lot of the stuff we have... Go to sideboard. A lot of the stuff we have is very susceptible to his flicker effects. So the only other thing would be potentially putting in Vines of Vastwood just so we can, like, give it hexproof. But I think rushing out stuff is probably going to be a better strategy for us. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I think rushing stuff out is going to be just better all around. So, if anything, we could actually pull out a Doomblade. Just a single one. No, I'd rather keep in the. I'd rather keep it in. We're gonna run it back the way it is. I think it's fine the way it is. I'm happy with my decisions from last game. I don't think my sideboard is really geared against dealing with a deck like this. Again, my deck is largely geared to deal with decks like Tron, and other control-y kind of decks like that. Again, with the one forest opening hand, we're gonna keep it because again we can play a lot of stuff, but not the best opening hand if you ask me. Yeah, go to our turn. Hardened Scales, sweet. Yeah, we'll pay a life for that. And then ship it to our opponent. Again, if you're playing the upgraded version of this deck, you mean you're not running into stuff like this because you are playing fetch lands, which can go get you swamps or forests. Or if you're running Overgrown Tomb, you can get both, which is really, really handy. And then you're not dealing with this kind of like trying to deal because right now we're running I think 5 swamps. Yeah, 5 swamps. And, I mean, you could be running substantially less in this deck, realistically, because you have ways of fetching up swamp and forest. So, that's usually a better bet. Oh, my. How do I feel about this? I think playing a second Hardened Scales is a really cool idea, but I think getting a threat on the board is probably a better idea. Or do I? Or do I is the question. I mean, if we play the Scrounging Bandar, it doesn't really help us out a whole lot right now. I think actually doing this and then having a bigger threat next turn is probably a better bet. Just because he'll be coming in with 2 extra counters, so he'll be coming in as a 4/4 for 2. Or he could play Detention Sphere. That's the thing that also happens. Remember the time I should have went for a... we have a lot of ways of destroying it, so we just need to draw into it. That's super annoying, guys. We should have known that. I should have known Detention Sphere in a blue-white matchup is 100% something that he's going to see. Especially if we're playing a Hydra's deck. Why wouldn't he be throwing that in? Okay. Well, let's play our Managorger. It can do some legwork for us at least, because as he plays stuff, it'll get bigger and harder to deal with. And at this point, we kind of just need to draw into something. Is what needs to happen in order for us to win this. We need to draw into a way of getting rid of Detention Sphere. And what is he? He's just gonna flicker. Oh no. What is he flickering? He's probably gonna flicker his Wall of Omens to get an extra card. When it enters the battlefield, hold on. Does it actually flicker? When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library. Okay, so it's like look at the top 3, draw one of those cards. Sweet. But he has to pay an extra 1 white to keep it on the play. So he pays 4? No, if one of the cards... Okay, I see. I thought he had to pay an extra, but it actually is pay 3. Which is actually not a bad... This is not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. So... Probably playing Feral Hydra on 2 is probably our best bet. Because we're not using... These guys work really well once we have Hardened Scales and stuff in play. Because we basically get extra value. So, yeah, I think we're just going to go green, black, coming in as a 2/2 Feral Hydra, which is always good, and we're going to go always yield. I don't need to see that. And then we have a 3/3 now, which is not enough to swing in and deal damage, because he's not going to block with this guy, obviously. So, ship it to our opponent's turn. We are just kind of waiting. Again, we have a bunch of cards that can deal with his Detention Sphere. We have 5 cards we put in. So we have Beast Within, which will get rid of it, which is good. And we also have Nature's Claim. So we have lots of ways of dealing with Detention Sphere. We just need to draw into it, which is the kind of scary thing. The farther we go, though, the longer we go into this game, though, the more control he's going to get. Ooh, Mistcutter Hydra. So here's the question. what do I do in this case? If I play the Scrounging Bandar, I can start making this guy bigger each turn, or this guy bigger each turn. If I play this, though, he has to block it with that. I think playing another Feral Hydra is probably going to be the better bet. I know we're burning our life away here really slowly. Which is annoying. But it's the way it's going to go. He comes into play. We're going to swing with Managorger. Because we can. Yeah. Go this way. Again, it'll kill his Wall of Omens if he decides to block with the Wall of Omens. And we have blockers up, which is fine. Or that. He loses his Hussar. And I deal 1 damage to him anyways. Oh well, neat. Pass to our opponent's turn. Again, we are just waiting on stuff to deal with our opponent here. Again, the biggest problem when you're dealing against like with a control-based deck, mind you, this isn't super control-based deck. It's kind of a flicker value deck. It's like the Death and Taxes deck without the death or taxes. So maybe it's not like a Death and Taxes deck actually at all. Supreme Verdict. That's super duper annoying for us. Well, it happens. Everything goes away. I'm going to open up this graveyard so you can actually see what's in my graveyard now. There we go. Look at that. Well, that's annoying for us. Well, we'll play another Managorger. Just to keep the pressure on. He can't just be playing stuff willy-nilly. And then ship it back to our opponent's turn. The thing about Supreme Verdict as well is it doesn't target, which means Mistcutter Hydra would have still died to it. It just destroys everything. It's not destroy target creature, so it can't be. So it's not being targeted. So Mistcutter Hydra, as cool as Mistcutter Hydra would be, is not actually that good against this matchup. Not as good as I want it to be. And Sun Titan, that's annoying. So he's gonna probably grab back his Wall of Omens, which is very annoying. And yeah, it's not getting the stuff I need. Not at all. Okay, well, let's go like this. Play the Scrounging Bandar. I guess we could have probably played the Mistcutter Hydra, but again, he doesn't have blue on board. He's playing, again, flicker stuff, so Sun Titan, which doesn't help us a ton. We need another forest. I mean, for the fact that we have 5 swamps in this deck and 8 forests, we've drawn a lot of swamps, which is really annoying. Super annoying, if you ask me. What do I think here? Can I take 6? Yeah, I can take 6. I don't think I can take 6 next turn, though. And that's gonna... What, he's gonna flicker... Oh, he's draw. It's draw. Not flicker, draw. I'm not sure why I keep thinking it's flicker. I guess there's some other reason. Oh, he can't pay for it, so he's gonna do it every turn. That's cool. That's a neat little thing. Sun Titan mixed with Court Hussar. Basically, look at the top 3, draw 1. Not blocking. Because we're going to put a counter on Managorger and make Managorger big enough so we can actually block the Sun Titan. This is the plan. Yikes. So we need a forest. We need a forest. Spreading Seas is a card that definitely pins us down a little bit. Again, this is just... It's been unfortunate how much black mana we've drawn. And I say unfortunate, but again, this is one of the many downsides of a budget deck. If you're playing multiple colors, is you run into these potential problems. If you're playing non-budget versions of this stuff, then it's actually not that hard to get a good consistent mana base where you're not going to run into this kind of problem. We're just not playing one of those decks. We don't have that budget. We are stuck a little bit in budget land over here. So Sun Titan comes into play as a copy. Court Hussar, drawing cards. What else is he doing? What is he doing? So our opponent is definitely getting some nice combo stuff here. And again, this is what I was worried of. Getting into the late game, our opponent kind of just does this like cycle, all kinds of craziness. On the flip side, though, our Managorger Hydra is now a 6/6, so that's fun. We need a forest, otherwise, and yeah, you can go here. Yeah, and we're gonna put 1 when it asks us to. Just a 1. 1. This is such a little hard button to push. Okay, so we have a 7/7 now, which is very good. And he's going to path our Managorger Hydra, which does get us a forest, which is nice. Yeah. Well, forest it is. Make this bigger. You guys can see. Oh, too late now. And we also draw an Evolving Wilds, which doesn't help us at all. Not even a little bit. So this is going to be game. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to concede this match right now. So concede, GG opponent. Thanks for playing. Anyways, this has been Adrian. We are playing Golgari Hydras. Until next time, I'm Adrian. This is Giant Monster Games. And don't forget to game like a giant monster. Yeah!